Despite outshooting their opponents, the Minnesota Wild, by 48-29, the New Jersey Devils fell in their return to the Prudential Center in New Jersey by a score of 2-1 to the Minnesota Wild in overtime. I'm James Burley for WFUV Sports. And at The Rock on Tuesday, March 21st, the Devils welcomed a very good Minnesota Wild team sitting in third in the Central Division, coming off the backs of a win against the Washington Capitals by a score of 5-3, in which Marc-Andre Fleury shined. They were going to start with Filip Gustavsson in goal. The young Swedish netminder has had a good year, though, waiting in the wings behind Fleury. Still played 32 games up to this point, Fleury being the main starter with over 40. He's got a .929 save percentage, but he was coming in with four straight losses, looking to break the duck there. Opposite him is Vitek Vanacek in net for the Devils, the typical starter for the Devils this season. But he was looking for his, what would have been a career high. He's already smashed that this season at 22, but his 30th win of the season. What an incredible milestone it would have been to have won in front of the home crowd in New Jersey. But alas, it wasn't in the cards. And you have to say, a lot of credit goes to the Minnesota Wild. Really did a lot of good stuff defensively, despite giving up so many shots. Not of the highest quality. And in this point of the season, those high-quality chances are tough to come by. In the first period, the Devils looked like the stronger team, outshooting Minnesota throughout the first frame, but nothing great that looked like it was going to really challenge Gustavsson. And then in the second period, more of the same, a bit of a defensive chess match, a neutral zone battle, but also a goaltender's battle. 29 shots is not a few by any standard, and Vitek Vanacek had to make a ton of highlight reel saves, equal to what Gustavsson did. But in the second period, as I said, the Devils really did not do enough to look like they were going to score. A couple chances where they coughed up the puck in the worst moment, where they didn't quite connect cleanly on an open look, and the Devils limped into the third period, probably excited to be the better team, but it would be the Wild who struck first. Mason Shaw on a very good shift from the Wild fourth line, following a good shift from the Devils first line. They get trapped in their own zone, then they're trapping the Devils in their zone, and it was a long sustained shift, and that ended up with Mason Shaw getting the better of Damon Severson in a 2-on-1 behind the net, and he funneled it in front and somehow got through the wickets of Vitek Vanacek to open the scoring. And at that point in the game, it looked like maybe there wouldn't be no goal scored at all. But 7 minutes into that third period, we finally broke the score. But just 6 minutes later, it's Timo time in New Jersey, and Timo Meier picked up his 35th of the year with a wraparound effort of his own, powering into the net. Nico Hischier and Jesper Bratt picking up assists on that one. So a good fight back from the Devils. But with another power play left, you think that in the third period, a late power play, just getting a goal from your new trade deadline acquisition star. But the power play was lacking for New Jersey today. Really wasted opportunities has been the story today, not only from throughout the game where they had 48 shots, but specifically the special teams did not look good enough. When you bring in the extra firepower of Meier and your first power play unit is Bratt, Hischier, Hughes, Meier, and Hamilton, you really think you're going to get better looks on goal than they have so far. But it is a process. Things are gelling. Things are getting there. And into the overtime period, the Devils really looked like they had a lot going for them. A couple of chances swinging back and forth, and in the final seconds, it's a chance, a 2-on-1 for the Wild, missed the net, going the other way. Jack Hughes with a try, hits the post, back to a 2-on-1, and Matt Boldy scores with .04 seconds left on the clock. A buzzer beater, if there ever was one in hockey, and to give the Minnesota Wild the 2-1 victory, a hard-deserved victory, a defensive struggle that, honestly, I don't think we've seen at the Prudential Center to this degree in a very, very long time. So you got to give both teams a lot of credit for the way that they fought and battled in what really was just a chess match. From a hockey purist perspective, a really fun one. And from a skill perspective, there was so much on display from both teams. Still, a really exciting affair, 29 shots to 48 shots. Vitek Vanacek for the Devils did get victimized in that final moments of the game, but you can't really blame him. He had to stand on his head tonight. A couple of highlight reel saves from both Gustavsson and Vanacek. Gustavsson, by the way, was absolutely spectacular and has been for long stretches of this season, splitting time behind Marc-Andre Fleury. He's got a very good .929 save percentage. Vitek Vanacek, on the other hand, of course, misses out on his 30th win of the season. His 22nd was already a career high this year, so to have gotten 30 tonight in front of a home crowd would have been an incredible milestone. I'm sure he will get it, as there are 11 more games left in the season, and the Devils still going to be fighting for that first place spot in the Metropolitan Division. The Rangers are hot on their heels. The Devils in second, Rangers third, and the Hurricanes in first. The Hurricanes defeating the Rangers by a score of 3-2 on the same night. The Devils will go on to face the Buffalo Sabres Friday night for what will be a tough matchup against a good young upcoming Sabres team that, while they might be on the outside of the playoffs looking in, they are just on that line. And they are in a very similar position to where the Devils could put themselves maybe a season or two ago, with young stars building towards a brighter goal. So the Devils have their work cut out for him in weeks. Islanders on the schedule, Rangers on the schedule next week too. So a lot of fun ones coming up for New Jersey. A tough loss 2-1 in overtime to the Minnesota Wild on Tuesday, March 21st. But a lot to be excited about with the performance, a lot to work on, and a lot to look forward to. For WFUV Sports, I'm James Burley, and I'll see you guys next time.